we don't. Let me tell you about this, okay? It's a pandemic that's sweeping households across the nation. It might just be in, higher income areas, but I don't think it is. This is what's going on, okay? My daughter goes to the local public school, number one rated public school, elementary school in the state of Pennsylvania. No big deal. High income area. We get it. Great public schools.
Ah,
Either way, there's an issue
yawn.
here. She's in kindergarten. They have a bathroom in the classroom, that whole nine. But the problem is that it's an automatic flusher. Okay? So at my house, I go to the
Hmm.
bathroom. I'm getting left fucking surprise after surprise because it's an automatic flusher and she's not used to flushing because in school they don't have to do it. It just does it for them. And I appreciate, sanitary reasons and I get it. I don't want everyone touching shit handles and all that. I get it. But, old Uncle Manny doesn't want to walk in and fucking see a fucking Navy
No,
yard.
I put an end to that shit
So it
real
was
quick.
happening to you too.
Yeah, but I put an end to it. That does not happen in our house. Not anymore, that's for sure.
I mean, imagine reverse roles. I wouldn't want that happening to my
It
kid.
only yeah,
Trauma.
it trust me, it only happened a couple times here, and it's like anything else. You just got to stay on them, and then eventually they'll
What do
stop.
you do? Do you like grab them and put their face in it like they're a
No,
dog?
you make them come back and do it so that they have to stop what they're doing.
Oh,
And yeah, because if there's no consequence for it, then
right,
they have no motivation to stop. But if they're in the middle of playing something or building something or watching something, and they have to
right,
stop doing the fun thing that they're doing to walk
right.
back over and do it, they're only going to want to do that so many times before they're like, not worth it, and they make sure they do it every time.
Can I tell you guys my issue with that?
Hmm.
Cause and you're gonna hate it, and you're gonna hate it. High income area again. I have three bathrooms in my house, right? And one of them is my daughter's bathroom, so I won't know unless I go in there and I'm like, oh, because a lot of times she'll like brush her teeth in the master bath because we have his and her sinks and all
That
that
does, just so
stuff.
you know, that doesn't bother me. I don't like want you to have a bad house
I'm just saying, like, I
with
don't
like,
see it. It's not like we're always using the same bathrooms. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just don't see it. But
yeah.
when we're using the powder room, the half bath, I guess I have two and a half baths. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
Two full,
So
one half.
so you're
Yeah.
telling me so you got your wife has a bathroom, your daughter has a bathroom, and then you and your father-in-law have a shower that you guys share, right? That's is that how it break is that how it breaks down? Is that the
That's how it
breakdown?
used to.
Is
That's
that
how
how it
it used
goes?
to be when we were in the row home in the Northeast,
Back
saving up
before
for
the
our tree
Oh
home
wait,
in a high
you have
income
an
area.
in-law with you too?
No, I used to. So
no.
this was back in, we're in episode 500 something now. We're talking back maybe first 200 episodes. I was still living with my
Mm,
in-laws, and before we moved in there, they had one and a half baths, right?
yeah.
And they only had one shower though. So my father-in-law built a shower in the basement, and he deluxed it up. It was
Hmm.
like he
He
sprung
built it
like got
himself,
Oh yeah, put in the plumbing, the whole nine,
and
like
you build it
tile.
with him.
I helped him a little bit, but it was like I was fucking like, dude. I helped him like put some of the tiling and the grout in, but also like
Yeah,
we're two dudes like in a shower together. It wasn't a lot of room to maneuver, like we're bumping into
yeah.
each other. But like he installed all the shower heads, like he did all of it. I would help like some stuff, but he
And
built
then
in the shower and like sprung for the fucking waterfall shower head. It was right next to the water heater, so it was instant hot water. Like it was a pretty good fucking shower.
Dude,
that
so you
But
know
that
what I was
became
thinking about
it
would
was
be
men
like a
only, and
good.
we shared it.
You know what I was thinking about would be like a good business idea. Like, dude,
Yeah,
hire me and I'll show you how to do. Like, if you're a homeowner,
dude,
you should want to know how to do that stuff.
dude,
Like, hire me and I will show you how to like change your faucet. I'll show
buddy,
you how to change the flusher in your.
repair, like patch up some drywall,
Yeah,
right?
I'll
Like
show you how to patch
basic,
that
dude.
and do
You know
it
how
and
many
everything.
times I've thought that where it's like, you know what dads would love? I would love if there was like a club like instead of like going to the gym, I could go to like man club. And today,
Yeah,
what are
there's
we
got to be
doing?
a way
Oh,
to
we're
like
learning how
monetize
to
this idea.
unclog. We're taking apart a sink, or we're fixing a vacuum cleaner, or we're repairing this, or we're like changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No judgment, no judgment. Just like we're going to teach you how to fish, and the amount of money you're going to save over the course of your home ownership by being able to
yeah.
do just
Like
small
other
things.
contractors would hate me, but I feel like that's a fucking
Dude,
Untapped,
untapped
it's a
Liam.
like
genius idea.
Agree.
If it's a BYOB, you come in, hey guys, this week we're installing light switches. And this one, it's the
yeah.
dual. It's got the fan attachment too. And it's the level switch so you can dim. We're installing dimmers, guys. Good week this week at Man Club. Come
Yeah.
on. Dude, I would be buddy. Liam, I would be your number. I wouldn't miss it. Kidding me? I wouldn't miss Man Club. I'd knock off fucking soccer to go to Man Club. You
Yeah.
know? Get
Doesn't even
Mr.
have to be man
Bowers in there.
club.
He built
Would just be homeowners club. I guarantee there's a million chicks that would want to see this too. Like if
Yeah.
they live on their
I
own or
mean, it
whatever,
should
they
be
own
men.
house.
It should be
There's
men
more and
only.
more. Yeah, but there's more and more that like live.
Maybe there could
There's
be a
chicks
woman's
that
one
own
and a
houses.
men's one.
What's that?
Maybe there could be a woman's club and a man's club because I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Women
want to.
women
I don't
are
want to
allowed
mix.
to
I don't want to
own
mix. I
homes
want
these
it to be
days, Matt.
guys. I want it to be a bunch of swinging dicks, busting balls, making
Just like
fun.
just Maddie and his father-in-law getting each other's backs.
Ah,
You know what I mean? He misses those
dude.
days.
I
He
mean,
misses
Liam,
those
if you
days.
ran that class, you'd be beating the pussy away with a fucking cricket bat, Daddy. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Yeah. There's got to be a way to like. Yeah.
You wouldn't be single dad anymore. You ran that class, bub. Tell you that much.
I need like because you need space to do it, and then you need
Yeah.
all the stuff.
Dude, get it? Dude, if Home Depot did it, you kidding me?
Yeah.
If Home Depot had man club once a week, hey guys, show up. I had a buddy, right? You could do long form projects too. He was on the show. Mr. Bowers built a grandfather clock from scratch, and I'm not
That's
saying
awesome.
he bought the fucking clock. He built the pieces for the clock.
Well, that's
Yeah.
like some serious like woodworking
Oh,
there.
he's a master
That's like
carpenter.
a whole
Artistry.
nother. That's
Master
like a whole nother
carpenter.
skill, dude. That's
But just
like
Liam,
some hardcore
just,
shit.
just what you're saying. How to take so how to take apart your drain without fucking up your whole
Build a
thing.
fucking rocking
Yeah.
chair. What are we doing? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take your drain apart. Install light switches. Man Club's coming. Speaking of Man Club, this is the Working Perspectives Podcast presents The Retorted Show. I'm Matt Lavelle. He's Bern Pockasy, and that good-looking bastard with the great idea who's going to be the president of Man Club is Liam Reese. This is a show for dads, by dads. We're trying it. So tonight, we're going to do some commencing of commenting. Got some good comments to read. Shout out Miss Metal. And then we're going to go over a dad topic from 3 different dads' point of view. I'm a married dad, father of 2. Bern's a divorced dad, father of 2. And LeSchmigle, he's a hero. He's a goddamn hero. Single father of a daughter. Doesn't get tougher than that. Doesn't get tougher than that. So tonight we're going to go over a topic. We'll tell you the topic when we get there. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. We did chores last week. That was fun. But either way, let's get commencing to some commenting, fellas. Are you ready?
Bring it on.
Ready, Freddy.
All right. First comment comes from everyone's favorite Aussie. Everyone's favorite Aussie. She's the blunder from down under. She's just the greatest there is. The one and only Sue Matthews, a.k.a. Miss Metal, Alloy1100. She left a comment on the guessing the most high energy cities in America. It was the top 10 cities addicted to the cocaine. She said, so she commented, she said, marijuana is Miami, cocaine is New York, heroin is Los Angeles, and meth is Philadelphia. Tough one, guys. Tough one.
How about it?
She ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. And I responded, just said, love you, Miss Metal. And she said, love you all too. Heart emoji. Shout out, Miss Metal. Love you.
The best. The best.
The best. Next comment, it comes from David Down 8680. David Down 8680. Is that a returning retort, Benoit? Your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't know that I recognize David Day. It could be, but not. It doesn't hit my ear necessarily. Like I don't recall.
The numbers throw me off.
Yeah,
Once
I
you
would
start
lean
saying
toward
numbers,
no.
yeah, it's hard to
I'm
remember.
just happy I get the name right half the time. You know what I
Hmm.
mean, guys? You know
We
how
know.
my track record with names is not good. Let's call space spade. David Down 8680 left a comment on the Hyatt Work Shorts clip, top 10 professions that do the most drugs. We all know who number one is, but still some people want to argue, and I don't know why, but here's what he said. He said, construction should be number one. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I don't even know anybody that doesn't have some kind of problem. And I responded by saying, yeah, it's definitely up there. No question,
Yeah.
construction's up there. But everyone in the service industry is using or in the program. And then he responded by saying, I kind of feel like construction workers kind of afford to use more often. And I said, buddy, no. I said, and he said, like money wise or because the job is miserable to work. And I said, you aren't wrong. But isn't there breaks in between jobs too? Right? Like you'll do construction, you'll be on a job maybe a week on the land, then you're back on the job a lot of times, right? Like it's not super consistent. Where in the service industry, it's long hours and late nights,
The
and you're using and
same,
abusing,
I
the
baby.
feel like
same goddamn grind all
if you
day,
have
every
worked
day.
if you have worked in a restaurant for even like a couple weeks,
Yeah.
this list is like not even a question. Like
No.
anybody that's done it, even for a short period of time, knows that that is automatically the answer because you can't find somebody that's not gone through that at work.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
There's a
we had a
perfect,
total
yeah.
druggie there, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, you can
Th-
get on a job site and there's a bunch of union guys in there
right?
that, you know what I mean?
They're
They're
on it.
they can do drugs. I'm just saying, but
No.
it's not
But
nearly what restaurants are.
the best clip that explains this is that did you ever see the movie Goon? Right?
Yes.
There's a scene in the
Yeah.
movie Goon where he introduces Doug Glatt to the goalie, and this is
Hmm.
every cook that you'll ever work with. The goalie says, "Hey, do not touch my fucking Percocet, and do you have any fucking Percocet?"
Yeah.
There you go. That's the restaurant industry in a nutshell, baby.
There
Every
you have it.
bartender, don't touch my cocaine. Do you have any cocaine? Don't touch my perks. Do you have any perks? You don't touch my oxy. Do you have any oxy? That's the service industry, bub. Last comment from this guy. He said, why would there be breaks in between jobs? Usually we have two or three different job sites running at the same time. All right. I don't know, buddy.
Yeah,
What should
he's
I even
pretty much
say?
right about that. No, I mean, if you work for a good company, you don't get that much in between, you know.
Yeah. All right. So maybe I'm thinking of union guys. I don't know.
I think it depends.
Yeah, either way. But no problemo. There we go. All right, and that does it for commencing to commenting tonight. We kept it good. We kept it sweet. We chopped it up and, popped your meat. That's what Bern does, and that's what he likes.
Wow.
Either way.
Popped your
Yeah,
meat.
pop some Bern. Hey,
Popping meat.
one thing I know about Bern Bogacy, he pops meat. He
That's
pops meat.
that's a wild one. All right, I'll roll with it.
All right, well, let's move on to our next segment, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Tonight, three dads, four dads, by dads, FDBD. We're hanging out, we're having fun. Married dad, father of two. I have a daughter and a son. Bern, divorced dad, father of two. He has a son and a daughter. Liam, single father, hero, and he is the father of a daughter. So, tonight's topic, fellas, free time. Free time. Liam, I have to imagine the most free time you get's on the can. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty accurate. That free time is very limited at the
Uh huh.
age she is now, like so up until now. When it comes to free time, when it comes to like pretty much anything I do I have to be able to do it at home. So most of my hobbies are something like stuff I have here, something I can do right here, like
Yeah.
comics or like models and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's what my hobbies are. That's not the only thing I do, but most of my me time is spent here, obviously.
If you're in your free time, though, I have a feeling it's dealing with a lot of like paperwork and maintenance, I'd assume, right? Like when you get free time, you're like, okay, now I got to take care of the school thing, and then maybe I can whack up on my phone for 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff happens like online or on the computer and whatnot. But most of my free time is just, it's usually I wake up early enough so that I have some time on my own in the morning before she has to get up, and when she
Yeah.
goes to bed, I have time to myself then.
Yeah. So
That's pretty much
bedtime,
it,
crucial. Can't wait till we cover bedtime because that's a fucking war of attrition every night. Bern, talk to me
Yeah.
about your free time as divorced dad.
Oh well, I mean, you guys are gonna hate this. I got a ton of free time, just a ton of free time, and like nothing to do with it really. Like, so
And
it's
it's
a
not
weird
on your terms. You know what I
thing.
mean? I
That's
think
what I mean.
it's like you have free time, but it's not the free time you want, right?
Correct, correct. So like, I had my kids. I got them on Friday. I took them back yesterday, and like, so when they're here, it's like they almost get annoyed because I'm trying to pack so
Yeah.
much
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
into such a little amount of time. Like the other
Yeah.
day, like my kids were just like, can we just like, it's like 5 o'clock. They're like, can we just like watch a movie for an hour?
Phew.
And like, and
What'd
the
you
only
run them
watch,
through?
oh, we ran them all day, man. We ran them all day. We get up early. Breakfast. My daughter eats from the time she wakes up in the morning till the time she goes to bed. She just like
Smart
all
kid.
day long. She needs a
Smart
grape,
kid.
needs a piece of salami, needs a couple chips,
Yeah.
needs a couple
Yeah.
pretzels.
Mhm.
My son, our neighbors built an ice hockey rink in their backyard. They do it every winter.
Wow.
So my son was
Oof.
just ice skating over there like all
I bet.
weekend, which was awesome because he would come back
Yeah.
like absolute dish rag, like just
Yeah.
smoked. He put down a 12-ounce ribeye the other night, all by himself. The whole, the
Whoa.
whole, the whole
Shit.
thing.
All
So what do you want
right.
for
Damn,
dinner?
he's feeding the wolf there, baby.
I was like, "What do you want for
Woo.
dinner?" He's like, "I want a ribeye." I was like, "A ribeye?"
Oh,
He was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'll go to the grocery store," and he cranked the whole thing. So he's good. He's about to be 9. So
I have to
he's a little
imagine is cunt nugget a vegan?
probably. I'm
Oh,
guessing he doesn't get any good meat made. My ex
yeah.
doesn't really eat meat anymore, so I'm guessing he probably,
I mean,
probably easy. She didn't eat much before either. Trust me. And and
That
just
was
talking
good,
about
Bern.
popping meat. And so
why
so
she's your ex?
he could be a little more independent. And that's tough for me when they're here because I want to spend so much time with them. But I also like the
Right.
fact that he's got friends in the neighborhood. He's
Yeah.
got a bike. He can go out. He can like do stuff where he lives
That's what you
in.
want him to have. You want him
That's
to have that experience. That's the best thing you can give him. That
exactly.
dad's is the best. I play with my buddies. We're fucking skating in the skating rink in the backyard. Like, come on.
That's the
You think
whole
he
deal.
gets that
Yeah.
in shitbag York or wherever he's at, Reading or
No, he's in
whatever?
Reading now. And my daughter, she just turned 4, so she's more like she'll hang with me. We'll do stuff. We
Yeah,
made
she's playing
Moana
some
bracelets.
dolls.
Oh, we made
Yeah.
Moana bracelets yesterday for
Little arts and
hours. We
crafts. Oh yeah.
color paint, but
Love a good craft.
I mean, back when I was married and like living with them, it was the same thing like Liam said. Like we had the second kid, and it was just like, all right, how late do I need to stay up tonight so I can have just a minute to myself? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like 9
Yeah.
o'clock hits, and you're like, here's my free time, and it's like, but I gotta go to bed soon, man, because my son's gonna be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I got a lot of free. I go from having no free time when they're around, which is great, to having a lot of free time when they're not around, which is like
Can I
frustrating.
ask you a tough question, Bern?
Sure,
When you drop them off, how miserable is that?
it's the word. And then the worst part is you drop them off, and then you have a 2 hour quiet car ride home, and
Oh,
it's just like, well, that was great.
God.
You got to find a podcast or something. But like that's the worst. That's the
Yeah.
worst part of the whole experience is the 2 hour drive home of like, well,
Jesus.
now what do I do with myself? And you get home and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, cool, like I can chill now, but like I don't know, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, you
So
want them around, man. It's the worst, man.
yeah,
I'm sorry. That's tough, dude. That's the worst. It's not
nothing's.
like missing the ex. It's fucking that you got to drop your kids off. That's the fucking worst, dude.
But also like nothing's forever. Like that's the deal right now. Like who knows what it's gonna
Yeah.
look like in a year? You know what I mean? Who knows what
Yeah,
it's gonna look
man.
like in 2 years? Like it could be
Yeah.
a whole different situation.
are you
Like,
gonna try to like move to make it,
yeah, eventually. Like
like
eventually I'd like to
yeah?
be closer to them. I think she and the dude rent. So I'm almost like I'd almost
So you
rather
have
they
to wait to see
I'd
in
almost
case they
rather
try
they
to
like
jam it up your ass when you try to move closer. Yeah,
exactly. So I'd
Yeah.
almost rather they
Yeah.
like buy a place and then that way I'll at
Yeah.
least know
Oh,
that like there's a little more security, to like
that's
make the
rough,
move.
man. That's
it's been like the deal for the last 2 years. Even when we were separated, and she was dating this guy, and I knew she was in York, but I didn't know she wasn't going to stay, but I didn't know where she was going. So it's like there's a whole holding pattern thing here
Yeah.
that's frustrating as well.
Yeah.
And also I have free
Yeah.
time now, but like I'll like go to the movies or something, like, which is
Yeah.
cool, but I would prefer to be way busier than I am.
Yeah.
I
On a day-to-day
imagine.
basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Wait till you get into the jiu-jitsu or man club. Wait till you get to man club.
I'll be all over
Oh,
Man Club, dude. All over
oh,
Man Club.
fucking, you'd be the king of man. You'd be showing up early to man club.
Oh, you kick me
God,
out.
dude, man club's the
Also, I don't
best
know how to do
idea.
anything, so like I could really use the.
You know what's fun? I like doing, you know what's something I'll get? Like, I'm a big laundry guy. Like I said, today I folded
Mm-hmm.
the laundry, right? Just threw on a show while I'm folding the laundry. The baby's down. My daughter's watching TV. Like, the key is, like, when you got two, it's like if you put the one that's the struggle that you have to constantly watch, once that one's down, things are back to normal, right? Throw on some
Mhm.
fucking show for the big one. She's good. You know what I mean? And it's just like you're hanging out, watching your thing, and you got a little free time to use, stuff like that. You know, you just gotta watch what you're watching because sometimes they'll come over and peek at your phone, and they're like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
oh, don't watch that guy killing that guy." You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, that's not bad. I mean, you
Oh,
know,
you know what? You know what movie we watched? In
what?
honor of the video I just saw today of Shia LaBeouf getting his ass kicked outside of a bar in New Orleans.
Wait,
We watched.
what? I want to see that.
Yeah, it's on TMZ. He's just him
Shia
getting
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf just getting beat
Yeah,
down by some dude.
He
yeah,
seems like somebody that would catch an ass whooping, does he not?
Yes.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
seemed like, and the dude was just kind of being like, just stay down and stop doing what you're doing. Like, but
Yeah.
anyway, we watched Holes and it was delightful.
Such a good film.
My son
Really,
loved it. My daughter had
really
no
good
idea what
movie.
was going on, but
Well done.
since my son was into it, she was into it.
Of
Like,
course. Yeah.
so yeah,
You
so we
know
watched
what's
Holes. It's great.
You know what's the thing with Shia LaBeouf? So I remember I went to school with this kid. I'll just call him Dre, right? And like in middle school, he was a black dude, right? And or is a black
No
dude. I don't know if
way.
he's still alive. Yeah, yeah.
What?
But yeah, but he was like, dude, he was just goofy. You know what I mean? And like funny and like would say all this fun, goofy stuff. And he's just cool, man. Like he was really funny. Then we get to high school. Then he wants to be fucking 50 Cent or something. You know what I mean? And he went from being like funny, cool, joking around guy to everything's about being violent and everything's about being a tough guy and everything's about being Johnny Hardass. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, if you just went back, like, you'd be the fucking best dude if you were just, you know? So I feel like Shia LaBeouf, if Shia LaBeouf was just didn't have to try to prove to everyone that he's not a wimp or whatever, you know, like then dude, you're a really good actor. Like I've seen him act. He can
Yeah,
fucking throw down.
that is good. He
Like
is
say what
good
you want,
in
like he can throw
movies and
down.
stuff.
But if he just was like normal Shia LaBeouf, not trying to be Johnny Tough Guy, he'd probably not be a bad guy. You know, if
Hmm.
I remember I saw an interview with him, it was like a round table and like fucking De Niro's there and like Tom Hanks is there and like all these like great actors. And he's talking about how he's like, oh, acting's like a fight. You know, it's like a fight. You're fighting with yourself and fighting with this. And I'm like, buddy, no one, you're not
That's just you. Tom
you're
Hanks
not
isn't fighting
selling
anybody.
Yeah.
anybody on this. They all think like, damn, this poor kid just doesn't know. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. That's what I think his deal
Or they're
is.
thinking,
Wait,
what an asshole.
yeah.
That's
They're
what they're
probably
really
thinking like,
thinking.
man, like what a waste of talent, you know? Because dude, he can throw it. Like I remember Fury, he was so good in Fury, and like the Peanut Butter Falcon was good. Like he's done some good stuff. I got no problem with Shia as an actor, but I guess apparently he's a prick, Prince Prick, right?
He just seems to have a real interesting philosophy on life, and I think it
So wait,
rubs
what
people the
happened? He
wrong way.
just got fucking Johnny mopped or
All I
what?
saw was a video of him just getting him with a no shirt on, just getting his ass whooped outside of a bar in New Orleans
Yep, didn't have a security.
by one guy. You know,
And
just
the guy
like,
was just like, dude, I'm gonna keep fucking you up. Like, what are
and
we
there were
doing
like
here?
4 other people who were just like, stop doing what, like, this is what you get essentially. So who knows what happened
Yeah.
before? But
Dude, that
Maddie,
thing,
how about
that's yeah.
how
That's
about
scary.
you, Maddie? How about you? You got because my kids are 8 and 4. Liam's daughter's
Yeah.
11. You
Yeah.
got a baby. You got a
Yeah.
13-month-old. So like, what about your free time? Because that's like, I mean, I guess the sleeping schedule is probably it's a little bit better now, but like you're kind of always on guard, right?
Oh, dude, always. And I kind of ate some shit tonight because, like, so we're trying to get, like, routine's the key. You guys know the
Yep.
deal. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
routine is everything. But also, both kids were off yesterday, and I was off,
Mm-hmm.
but my wife had to work. So I was
Mm-hmm.
fucking Johnny, like, dude, battling to get to nap time. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Get to nap time. I'm like, okay, let's take a break. But then my daughter wants to go riding her cart around town. You know what I mean? Someone got her a cart. Now she's carting
Mm-hmm.
all over town in her go kart, whipping it around. Yeah? So, like, we're doing that. But I'm telling you, dude, the so my move is like we are in the basement, it's kind of like set up for kids, you know what I mean? So I'll bring them down here. I'll just throw some like noise making shit on the TV, some YouTube, whatever. Like they're not even watching it. It's just like noise in the background and lights and colors and stuff. And then they're just like my son just goes from like one thing to one thing, picking up everything, putting it in his mouth, whatever. My daughter plays with her dolls or whatever. And tonight they're doing that after dinner. Everything's fine. And then like it's like, I'm like, all right, my wife's like, hey, let's put him to bed, And I'm like, yeah, all right, good. Let's get this monster to bed. And I pick him up, and I guess he must have done it for the 2 seconds I wasn't watching. Whole mouth was blue from like a crayon or something. You know what I mean? He just like obliterated a crayon. I cannot. I mean, this kid's shit's gonna look like a Jackson Pollock painting. You know what I mean? I don't know what we're
Yeah.
gonna do here. But yeah, that's So then I'm like, fuck. And then my wife heard me say fuck, and she's like, what happened? And then came down. I was like, God damn it. So not only did he eat it,
Nowhere to
like
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, I
eating the
can't even
crayon.
sweep this one under the rug real quick,
Nope.
you know?
Right.
Nope.
I can't even get a wipe on him real quick. Soon as she heard me say, ah, fuck, she's like right on it. She's got the Albanian ears of a fox, comes running down, sees old fucking Blueface, and I'm like, God damn it. And then, it's not, I don't even care that he ate the crayon, right? Because he's a fucking kid. He's eating worse. Trust
He's gonna be
me.
fine. He'll be fine. It's
Right.
wax.
It's a crayon. They make him to eat nowadays. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
What are we doing
For
here?
that reason. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that now I just got to hear it forever. And I hear later, it's like, oh, my wife talking to my daughter, what was daddy doing while you guys were downstairs? And my daughter's like, he's on his phone. I was like, actually, I fell asleep. So fucking,
Yeah.
what do you want to
In
do?
your face.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
shows to show you she's not watching either.
Jokes on you. I wasn't on my phone. I was passed out.
I
I
wasn't even
literally,
awake.
I was literally laying on the floor. Like I'd laid on the floor to like, like he'll crawl on me and sometimes, and I just was like, huh, okay, let's bring him up to bed. Huh? Fuck. What happened? Oh, fuck. Yeah, literally, that's how it went. But that's my dude. I'll tell you, when you have the toddler, Liam, I can't imagine how you did this when you're alone. But like the toddler is like I sleep like, dude. If it's
Mhm.
like semi quiet, I'm out. Just because you're
Yeah.
just so tired all the time.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
when I lived over on Church, there probably isn't like a square inch of that living room and where the bedrooms were. But it probably isn't a square inch of that place that I haven't been like passed out on,
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Just from like getting caught up, like you know what I mean, just from like doing stuff, or she starts playing like on the blanket thing, then I just lean up against something and
Yep.
rest your eyes
Yeah.
for 2 seconds, and you're out.
Yep. Oh,
Night
dude,
night.
I used it was like a rubber Barbie doll, baby doll, whatever, as a pillow, and it was the most
Hmm.
comfortable thing I'd ever felt. I woke up and I couldn't move
Couldn't,
because I was
yeah, couldn't move
paralyzed
your
from
neck.
stiffness.
Couldn't
Yeah,
move to the
but other
left,
than
but
that, yeah, it was great for the however long long enough for him to eat. I don't know, 6 crayons or whatever he ate. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's free time for me, fellas. That's also
Yeah.
like the one thing you guys don't get. I also get monitored free time. You know what I mean?
hmm
Like no one's banging on the door while you're taking a shit, saying, "Hey, you almost done it." You know what I mean?
Oh, thank
So
God,
yeah,
dude. That is like so of all the like downside I have of like being completely like overwhelmed for like being by myself, that
yeah,
is like the true payoff for it is that there
yeah.
is never like I never have to catch any shit for it when I fuck up. I mean,
Yeah.
I pay for that like on my own. You know what I mean? If I screw
Right.
up, but I never have to like. That's the only advantage I have over anybody is
Can
that
I
just
say this
I
too?
never have to catch shit.
I probably would have learned more lessons had they not been like rubbed in my face. Had I come to
Hmm.
them naturally of like, "Ah, I fucked up there, I shouldn't have done that," then I would have learned more lessons of parenting. But if someone's like, you fucking, why are you doing blah blah blah? Now I'm just like, oh fuck
Hmm.
you. You know, I'm gonna fucking
Hmm.
keep doing it. You know what I mean? Because then it makes you angry that someone's on your shit, you
Well,
know?
yeah, you get better out of like necessity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you learn what to watch and stuff because you're the end of the road. And when you fuck up, you know what I mean? It goes
Yeah.
sideways. You're like, well, that's never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There is some times where you do just gotta fucking play handoff and you're just like, look, I need fucking 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'm just gonna fucking fall over here. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I get to that stage sometimes. Burn, your
Well,
thoughts?
yeah, that's the funny thing too of like because when you do fuck up as a parent, like you know, and you feel terrible. Like you already go like
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
was bad, that was a mistake, and like
Yeah.
you don't need someone coming off the top rope to be like, no, let's talk about why. Like I know I'm an
Buddy.
adult. It wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
I understand what happened. I will do everything in my power to make sure it never happens again. But like, I have like a telephone game. Like I'm driving home yesterday, and my ex is calling me like, when
Oh,
was the last time what did they have for lunch? Because one of them's hungry and one of them's not, but they both said they didn't have lunch. I was like, the boy didn't want lunch, so he just had like an apple and some chips. She ate all goddamn day, so I don't know you know what I mean. But like, it's 5:30, so like, what do you want to know? Like, why just trying to figure out dinner? I was like, well, then make dinner and feed him something. I
fucking
don't
feed him dinner.
like.
But
Yeah,
there
like
you
what do
go.
you want for come on, man.
I
I
don't know.
really
I don't know what to tell you. Like, no, he actually did. He had a big breakfast, and then he was going out to play with his friends. And I was like, "You want some leftover Chinese? You want some lo mein?" He was like,
Yeah, I'd be like, are you
"No."
seriously asking me if they've been fed
If
at
they've
any
been
point
fed,
during the day? Give
right,
me a fucking
right.
break, dude.
Yeah.
They
That would
also
drive me
That's just
nuts.
twats.
they also
Dude, that's what
slept
it
and
is.
took showers. Like they've also been cleaned and slept.
Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah.
like I don't know
They
what.
brush their teeth.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be like,
They
dude,
did
Yeah,
they're
all.
not over here in a fucking crack den. Like,
Yeah.
there's food here. They both can talk and whatnot. Like,
yeah.
they're hungry. They ask me for stuff. They get fed. Give me a fucking break, dude.
Right. Dude, but Liam, you say that until like, it's fuck what you dude, all the like the check-in. Also the worst thing is that I've like the worst memory ever. Like the head
Mm-hmm.
stuff's just brutal. And it's getting worse. It's almost scary. But like
Yeah.
the steel trap of these motherfuckers where they don't forget anything and it's constantly thrown in your fucking face from like
Mm-hmm.
months ago that you're like, oh my God, are we still fucking dealing with this? You know what I mean? Because
Don't get me
one
wrong.
time this happened, dude, yeah, that's one of the worst things I'd have to
Don't get me
say.
wrong. I'd say that, but like, obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's been times where, like, it's a Saturday, we're doing chores, we go out, she has a game or whatever. You know what I mean? We get back, it's like 2 o'clock, and she's like, "What are we having for lunch?" And I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ,
Oh,
what is wrong
yep,
with
Right.
me?"
But who
You know what I
gives a
mean?
shit?
Like,
right. But like that happens, man.
Right.
That
Also,
yeah,
happens.
it's not like you were sitting around not feeding her. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you guys are fucking doing shit all
And
day. You
obviously,
just
like
got
when
caught in
that happens, I'm
transition.
like, okay, stop everything. Like,
But but
what do you want to
also
make? You know?
What do we
but
got?
But also,
Yeah,
Liam, if she's not eating, you're not eating either. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, you guys are in the same boat. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
not
like
gnawing on
Bern was
some
like, hey guys, I'm
big
going to go to
turkey leg.
Wawa. You guys fend for yourself. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
Right,
What are we doing here? Yeah,
right.
that's what
Do
they
you know how
think's
much?
happening.
Do you know how much fruit goes bad the day after they leave?
Oh my
You know what
I
I mean?
know.
God.
Like I'll just send stuff home. I was like, take the rest of these blueberries because like I'm not going to eat them, and like I'm sick of
Nope.
throwing them. I'm sick of throwing them out. They wanted bananas. They both wanted bananas this week. I got 4 bananas. My
Hmm.
daughter opened a banana and then told me
Right.
she would eat it later, and now I
Yep.
have 3.5 bananas. And I
Just
hate
eat them. You're
bananas.
good bananas. Oh, you
I don't
do?
like them. I don't like the
No.
texture. I'm not a banana guy. I knocked off the
It's the
apples.
texture, not the taste?
Yeah, it's the texture, not the taste.
Okay.
I'll knock off the apples. I'll eat the rest of the grapes, but the
Sure.
bananas, they're not doing anything for me.
When's the
So I
last time
did
you
some
whacked up a tangerine? Bad time.
tangerine's pretty good.
you guys brought something up that actually is a challenge for me. When it comes to like stocking that kind of stuff, like I
Yeah.
can't buy like a bag of oranges. Well, I can, but
Yeah.
like be only having two people, you can't buy
Right.
too much chicken. You can't get
Yep.
full things of milk. You can't because
Yeah.
sometimes then you like
Yep.
all of a sudden they don't want cereal. Now we're having yogurts and stuff. So I have to buy it like in small batches and go grocery shopping more often. Because
Right,
if
which is
not, then
Oh.
you have
more
stuff go.
expensive. So it's more
Yeah,
expensive to have
yeah,
to buy things like that, and also you're spending more time at the store because you're going to the
yep,
Yeah.
store 2 or 3 times a
Yeah.
week instead of once a week. Like,
yep.
Yeah.
I can do a pretty good move where I just stock up on all their stuff when they come in, and then there's some rollover. Like, do we love mini Eggo pancakes? We sure do. But
Hmm.
Oh.
I got a bunch of them in the freezer. You know what I mean? Like, I'll check it,
Yeah.
Hmm.
but then they show up, and like you said, now it's like, well, no, we don't have cereal for breakfast anymore. We have Nutri-Grain bars. It's like, well, nobody
Hmm.
Oh,
fucking
for
told me.
Christ.
It's
Yeah.
7:30
Yeah.
in the morning. Like, I can get them for you tomorrow, but
Yeah. I didn't get the memo.
nobody gave me the heads up that we're on
Sorry,
Nutri-Grain
all I
bars
got is
now.
delicious pancakes, for
You know what's
Right?
Christ's sake.
crazy? No, what's
We got,
crazy? When you were
yeah.
kids, wasn't cereal like always the
Oh,
breakfast?
dude,
Always.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, dude.
Yeah,
I
now
ate
it's like
cereal
more like
multiple
now it's
times a
like
day.
fruit yogurt,
Ce-
granola,
They
you know what
do
I
eat a
mean?
lot more
Like,
fruit. Yeah.
yeah.
Cereal was the breakfast, and then by the time I we got to like middle school, high school, it was like
Hmm.
one Eggo waffle in the toast. You know what I
Hmm.
Yeah.
mean? And like that was, and then my old man would make breakfast like one day like one weekend day, he'd make like pancakes or eggs or something like that. But otherwise, it was like get your cereal, or once you're old enough to use a toaster, you can throw an Eggo waffle in there. And that's all I had for breakfast for like 18 years.
Food. Yeah.
Like,
Pop Tarts. Yeah. The whole
yeah,
thing.
but no,
Dude,
it's
I
like,
mean, also, I don't know, like, then when you get to a certain age, that food just like, dude, when you're like 14, I remember being 14 and just housing like boxes of zebra cakes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
fucking, my mom couldn't keep food in the house fast enough. I was just obliterating
We
everything,
used to,
because
I
you're
used to
growing.
destroy cereal. Like,
Oh,
speaking of cereal, I used to, like, at our house when I was younger, when I was in high school, I
yeah.
would destroy fucking
Dude,
boxes of
Rice
cereal,
Krispie
dude.
treat cereal, greatest cereal of all time.
Ooh,
Oh, I
ooh,
go
that
through
is the greatest
fucking
cereal of all time,
boxes,
bro.
boxes of that.
I've never had it.
Oh,
They don't make
you,
it anymore because it
yeah,
obliterated all other
then guess
cereals.
what? You officially have missed
I
out
missed it. I missed
because
it.
You
it
fucking missed
was
it.
the best cereal ever made, and for whatever reason, they were just like, nope, it's too good. Let's
It's
not
something.
make it anymore.
It's
It's
too
so good. I
good.
wish I could show it to my kids.
Yeah,
That's
I
how good
swear,
it
I
is.
agree. I agree. I wish
That's
I
how
could.
good of a cereal that
But
is. It
some
was
nerd
so good.
somewhere found out that they could make like 8 cents a month more if they just stopped making it, you
I
know?
don't know how. It was the most popular
Me neither.
cereal.
I don't
Nothing
get
beat
it.
it. It was just. I would eat
I asked
boatloads
for it
of it.
all the time.
That's
I
all I
asked my
wanted.
mom to get it all the time.
That or Reese's Puffs.
I
Another
didn't.
winner.
They were okay. I
What about
wasn't big
CT
on Reese's
Crunch?
though.
Love some good CT
That now
See,
Crunch.
that's a different story.
CT Crunch, I can get. I can get
Right.
down with that.
What
Yeah,
about, you
I
know what I like too, even though it wasn't a sweet one? I loved Crispix. Texture.
Crispix was good. Crispix
Yeah.
was
Good.
definitely a
But we're
good
getting off
cereal.
topic, guys. I
Yeah,
think we've
sorry.
talked enough about this, but let's frame this. So, free time. What do we
Okay.
think?
What do you
For
do?
dads, by dads. What do we do? Best
Oh,
best way to do some free time. Lishmigli, what do you got for you? Best free time.
for my free time, the way it's best spent for me, this answer is probably not going to surprise you guys, but I have a bookcase full of graphic novels and comics.
Ooh,
I got boxes
okay.
downstairs, and I have subscriptions to the digital comics and stuff. And to me, that's something I can pick up and I can do it for an hour, or I can do it for 10 minutes, or I can do it
Yeah.
for, you know what I mean? And then I can come back to
Yeah.
it and everything. That is like my go-to. It's perfect for me because it also like is the to me free time is like it's the opposite of your responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like that,
Just
there's
vegging
nothing in
out.
there that like reminds me like, oh, I got to do this shit tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
I just get to fucking zone out, and do that. You know?
Little free time, me time, baby. Benoit, what do you got for a little free time, me time?
Mostly just jerking it. Um,
Sure.
no, I mean, like,
That thing's
yeah,
about to
but
fall off.
but Jesus Christ, it's been a while. Um, yeah, I'm a huge like solo go to the movies guy. I've
God, I
always loved.
wish.
I
I
love going to the movie. I
wish.
love seeing a movie in movie theaters. And then we're about to get to the season where around me there's I think it opens probably in March or April at the latest. There's 2 drive-ins. And
That's
so
Oh,
awesome.
like
I wish we had that here, dude. I
yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
and so
I
you
would
can go
love
like
that.
I think one night last summer I went and I saw Sinners was at 8:45 and Superman
Oh
was
man,
at
I'm so
10:50.
jealous
And
right
I
now,
was
dude.
like, I go sit in my car and I can just it's just me and I'm in the whip and I'm just sitting there and I can just
Yep.
recline the seat, open the window and
You can
catch a
bring
couple
whatever you
flicks.
want with you,
Whatever I
drinks
want.
and food,
Exactly.
and
Stop
yeah, you
Exactly.
at
can bring
fucking
like sandwiches with
Chick-fil-A.
you and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Exactly.
that
Oh yeah,
sounds
I would
great.
sit there with a chicken parm hoagie. You know
Oh,
what I
that
mean?
Oh,
And
sounds
be like,
perfect. That sounds
I'm gonna
that
hammer
dude.
that.
sounds perfect, dude.
Dude,
It
that's
really
not a
does.
bad idea. We're doing my family reunion in Scranton in July. I might
Hmm.
pitch fucking drive-in movie night because we're
That's a
There's
good
two
looking for
there's
idea.
activities.
there's
That's a
two
good
or three that
idea.
are within probably 25 to 30 minutes of where you guys would be staying. And like
And the
I'll send you the
audio's in your
website.
car, right? Like,
Yep,
do you tune to a radio station
yep,
and then the
yep,
audio plays? That's great, dude. I want to do
yep,
it. I have
Yeah,
to drive out to one this summer.
yeah.
I'd
You hit
love
the
to do a
That's a
hit the
drive-in.
must.
and then there's a lot of people who will like they'll picnic, right? So like you see a lot
Yeah.
of people like if you got the SUV, you back it in, you open up the back, you got
Oh,
That
kids sitting in the back,
sounds
yeah,
awesome, dude.
they're eating
yeah.
snack,
Why
and
do
you're
we
not
not
spending
have
that.
one here?
It's $9.25
Oh, for the
a person,
car? Oh,
a person. But I go solo, so
still,
whatever.
that's
But
half
so
the price of the tickets at AMC.
yeah, and you bring all your own food and drinks and stuff. So it's
Oh,
like you're not getting some like my kid. We were gonna go to we didn't end up going because my son ended up going ice skating. But like I was gonna get tickets to go see Goat yesterday. But like
Mhm.
yeah,
me and 2 kids, that would have been $65.
easily. Plus
Like
snacks. All yeah,
like snacks and like drinks
And they
and
wonder
like
why
yeah,
they have trouble selling movie tickets.
yeah.
It blows my mind because why don't they just make tickets affordable? Then
yeah.
families would come out. Like, it's fucking
You
obvious
make your
why they
money
can't
on the
get people to.
concessions anyway.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
But like it would
Unbelievable.
I'm like
dude.
pricing
Recent.
that, and I'm like, here's 65. This is like 65, $70 to go watch a 93-minute animated movie,
Yep.
which
Yeah,
is great, awesome. You know what I mean? But like, that's a chunk.
that's
And
a big chunk.
I still
Yes.
got to feed him 2 meals and drive there and drive back. Like that's a hundred
Yeah,
dollars
and
just
you got to
for
deal with the sugar crash and all that. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lot. Dude, I mean, dude, I would love, me and my wife did a little afternoon movie date for Valentine's, and we went to Chick-fil-A before, and we brought in
Mhm.
all, like, I put the Chick-fil-A in a bag and put, like, some blankets over it, and
Nice.
just carried it in. We had
There you
Chick-fil-A
go.
in the theater. It was awesome. It's the way to
Nicely
When
do
I
it.
was
done.
But,
when I
dude,
was
it was,
16, me and my boy Richie took 2 girls to go see Titanic for Valentine's Day. That's how old I am. And we smuggled in General Tso's chicken and lo mein. And these girls thought we were goddamn ninjas. They thought we were
Very good.
goddamn
yeah.
ninjas.
Yeah. Hey, your fingers stunk that night, buddy, and one from the General Tso's, I'll tell you that much.
I taught my son how to sneak food into the movie, so he gets real excited about it. It's like if we're going to
Oh,
the
it's the
theater.
best.
He's
Dude,
The
I
like,
love
best.
the
Dad,
movies. For
I'm gonna take these Skittles. I'm gonna put them in my hood, and I'm like, well, don't do that because they'll see it. But I'm like, you're making it more complicated than it has to be,
Just
man. Just
pouch
put
it.
it, just pouch it, bud. Just pouch it.
Just
But
pouch
like,
it.
I do like the fact that I am teaching him how to sneak
Yeah.
food into movie theaters because it's
Dude,
something you need to learn.
what are you gonna say, Liam?
I just love the movies. There's so much
Yeah,
that, like, I'll love it for the rest of my life. Is
Oh
same.
yeah.
just, you know.
I can't wait for my kids to like it because I'll take them. But one thing,
Hmm.
dude, when I was there, like they were trying to sell like the pass, like you know what I mean, like you can get like the AMC Crown
Yeah.
pass, and like you
Yeah,
could it's this many movies a month or whatever. Dude, I looked at my wife, I was like, I fucking wish. Is if like you know what I mean, like if our kids were older and they liked the movies, I was like, I would buy
Hmm.
that right fucking now, and we would go. I
Yeah.
would take them there all the time. We'd see every fucking movie.
I
what'd you
should
guys
You
get
go to see,
that.
Maddie?
I
What'd
should
you and
get
your wife
that
go
for
to
me
see?
and Layla.
we went and saw that Kevin James movie where he gets left at the altar and then goes on his honeymoon by himself
Oh
and
yeah, and he
yeah.
meets that chick in another country, right? She tells him to
Yep.
stay, and yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about that until I saw Kevin James sitting all by himself at the Super Bowl. he was like in a row all by himself at the Super Bowl, and then I read later on
Mhm.
that it was a promotional thing for that movie. It's like he's all alone or something like
Yeah,
that.
Solo Mio.
Solo
Yeah.
Mio. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Kim, God, I forget his last name, but he's been like a ton of stuff. He was Trig in Sons of Anarchy and
Oh yeah,
he and then he
I know
was
exactly what
in
you're talking
like
about.
he was in Godless. He's been in a million things. He was in Goon. He was the coach in Goon. He's awesome. He
He
was
was in
like
that
the
one Canadian mob show. What was that show
yeah,
called? It was
I know
so good
exactly.
on Netflix. Damn it! What
Yeah,
was that
I
show
know
called?
exactly. He was in that, dude. He was probably the best part. He was really good. But other than that,
Hmm.
yeah. But dude, me like my me time, free time is if I wake up early and work out before everyone's awake, and then the show. That's my,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? When we do this, this is probably like one of the highlights of my week. You
Yeah,
know,
you're
just
hustling and bustling
dadding it
pretty
up.
hard. Then good for you.
Uh, Liam, I don't need your patronizing bullshit,
I'm
okay?
not. I'm
All right.
dead serious. I was
You
being
know what? I
serious.
don't want to hear it. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm hustling pretty hard, but I got a support
Yeah, and you're
system and
like
all this
coaching
stuff.
people, right? Don't you do? Aren't you boxing coach and stuff
You know,
too?
Liam, I don't
Yeah,
need your,
I
this
was not. All
patronizing
right, man.
tone.
Whatever.
I can't stand it. Can't stand it, you know?
Maddie,
I'll
for a
take,
little bit of your free time tonight, just make sure you check all 7.5 bats to see if there's any floaters waiting for you.
oh, buddy. I got a lot of floating to check, that's for sure. I mean, you know, so many bathrooms in in my palace. But either way, we're coming towards the top time. Anything before we get out of here, fellas?
Bring back drive-ins. That's what I have. For the
Yeah.
love of all that is holy, bring back stuff people actually want to do that makes people happy. That's
Amen to
And
what.
that.
can I say, bring back Rice Krispie treat cereal because I never got to try it, and I wanted to get my
Oh,
hands on a
I'm on
box.
board. I'm on. I mean, I will be the advocate of that for sure. We are
Hmm.
pro Rice Krispie treats on this
Absolutely.
show for life. And speaking of being pro treats, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents The Retorted Show. I'm Matt Lavelle. He's Bern Pockasy, and that handsome bastard is Liam Reese. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Hang out on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter, TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the flippy. Thanks. See you.